Hi FlossTube, I'm Jane.
And I'm Amelia.
And we're here to talk about our April crafting and stitching. Today is Sunday the 3rd of May. It is cold, but not as cold as yesterday. Yesterday was really cold, so was Friday. We're in Sydney, Australia, and
yes, we changed spots.
yes. All right, let's get started, hey?
Okay.
I've got a bit to show you today.
I think that's like a lot.
Yep. So I had some finishes for the month of April. Do you want to hold them up?
So she finished, wait, what's this? A CC reindeers
Very good.
that she was stuck on with the French knots before.
So this was a kit from the Cruel Goblin in Sydney. So it came with the spool, the ribbon, the banding, the thread, everything. The thread in the kit for the French knots and for the along here on the reindeer was a metallic DMC thread, which I was having a lot of difficulty using. So I just swapped it out for Weeks Dye Works Gold, and then once finished, I had to mount it onto the spool. So
which you don't really like because it's sewing.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get my confidence up with finishing things and sewing. Yeah, so that's my stitching at the back where I've sewn it together.
You're not confident in finishing things.
Yeah.
Wow. Never told me that.
And then I've put the ribbon on, and I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. So this bit needs to be cut, but anyway, I'll just leave it like this for now. It is a Christmas decoration to hang on the tree.
Like we said last.
But yeah, so that's now fully finished, and this was one of the 9 projects I had at the start of the year that was started and not finished that I wanted to get completed. So that's another one done. My next finish was this one. Do you want to hold that up and talk about it?
This one.
Or hold the pattern up first.
Tired trio with the sloths.
So this is by
Hanging from the branches.
Plum Street Samplers, one of the Animal Stack series. And I have...
But you didn't put it in the... You didn't put it in the stitching yet. You're making it a pillow.
Yeah, well that's a pillow as well.
Yeah,
so
you're not putting how your idea was to put all of them together?
Oh no, that's another one. So this is my finish, and this is my first ever pin pillow finish. So I was quite...
No, you need to one too.
No, this is my first one. So I was quite anxious about making the pin pillow. So I got my sewing machine out last weekend, took my time, and it worked out quite well. So I put interfacing on the back of my stitching, and then that's the back of the pillow. I've put interfacing on that as well, and then used the machine to sew up and around these 3 sides, and then I stuffed it from the bottom just with the poly fill stuffing.
And then you stitched that bit.
Yes, and then I hand stitched along there using invisible stitch, and I was pretty happy with how that turned out as well. So it's quite firm. And this is a gift for my sister for her birthday. I'll get her some.
Hopefully she's not watching this.
No, I know. I don't think she will be. I'll probably get something to go with it, but oh, upside down. I keep holding it the other way.
Because it's like when she was taking photos, she's like...
Yes, I took all these photos of it, and then
she's like, this guy's gonna fall, that guy's just like gonna fall down.
I gotta remember it goes this way.
And also the flowers.
Yeah. So she is probably not so much into cross stitch, but she does a lot of other crafty things, so I think it'll be useful for her.
Auntie Helen does a lot of stuff.
She does. So, and she loves sloths, so I thought that was a good gift for her. So I'm really excited to have finally made
A pillow?
Yeah, and I'm very proud of it, and I can't wait to make some more. So that's that. So they're my 2 fully finished pieces for the month. And then we have another finish, which I will get framed, so it's not fully finished.
But it's finished stitching. My Early Days by Plum Street Samplers.
And this was the retreat piece from the the Australian Plum Street Sampler Retreat, which was in November of last year.
And she got the board.
Yeah, so last few times I've forgotten the cardboard. So here it is. This is my finish. I should hold it like that. I really, really loved stitching on this. I mean, it was a little hard going down there where it's all full coverage. I'll just show that. So it's all, this is stitched on 36 count vintage beeswax with 1 thread over 2. It's mostly Weeks Dye Works threads. I think there's 1 Classic Colourworks and then a few DMCs. There is some over 1 stitching, which is on the leaves in the vase, the green leaves, and also up on the butterfly up there. There's some over 1 stitching, and there's some satin stitch as well on the blue flower. I changed the words on this. Do you want to read out what the words say on there?
Now, in my early days, teach me thy will to know.
And I've changed mine to wherever life plants you bloom with grace. I've kept the style of the letters the same, and then I've added my initials and the year that I stitched it.
But it didn't in that one.
No.
In the pattern.
No, I had a little bit of a gap there, so I thought that was a good spot to do that. So this is one of my favourite pieces that I've finished. I can't wait to get it framed when everything gets back to normal and we can go back to the framing shop. I'm going to have a few things ready for framing now. So yeah, really, really love this one. Okay, what else have I been working on?
No.
You don't know.
Because you never really... Oh yeah, that and the wish one.
Yep. So, I don't think I had started this last video.
Yuletide Shanty. I don't think you did because you kept asking if the white looked clear enough.
Yeah.
So I don't think you did.
No, I don't think I did either. So this is my progress so far.
She's doing the bottom bit.
Yeah, so I'm doing the bit that goes around,
Not the top bit.
around the drum. So, I've got a fair way through the whale. He's huge, lots of white stitching. And I was having a lot of trouble. You couldn't really, it was hard to, I felt like it was hard to see the white.
But it's actually kind of okay.
Yeah, so I was quite, I really like the colour of this fabric, and I love all the colours in the pattern, so I didn't want to change any colours on this. But the white was quite difficult to see. So I had posted a picture on Instagram, and someone had commented and said if I just do 1 extra stitch over the top of the white, it'll help it stand out, and that's what I've done. I've missed a little bit here, which I've got to go back and do, but it has made it stand out so much more. So I'm really thankful for that person for giving me that tip, because I absolutely love this pattern. It is one of my favorites, And I think now that whale stands out really great on this fabric. So I'd say I'm about 2/3 of the way through that side panel, and then I've got to stitch the top, and then it's got these words on the bottom. So that's why I've got this long piece of fabric to try and get everything on. And then after all of that, I've got to sew it into a drum. So of course I'm a little bit nervous about doing that, but pardon? Yeah, so I think having done the pillow has been a bit of good practice for me. So again, I think it's just a matter of taking my time, and I'm sure it'll work out fine. But anyway, I've got to finish it first. So I just love this pattern. It's really cool. So that's that one. I've also done a little bit more stitching on this other one. I'm going to hold this one up and talk about that.
Carriage House Samplings by Matter's Choice.
Matter's Choice by Carriage House Samplings.
Same thing.
So
it's all blue.
Yes.
Midnight colour.
Correct. That's exactly the colour. So I haven't taken this out of the Q-snap. I haven't done too much more since my last video. I've finished the house and I've started the alphabet along here. This is a great, as I think I mentioned before, it's a nice stitch to do because you're just using the one colour, so it's easy to just not have to be changing colours all the time. I did see on Emily C. Eclectic Possessions, her FlossTube, where she had finished hers, and across here the alphabet starts up again and keeps going, but she had actually stitched her name and the year, and I really liked that idea, so I'm going to do that as well. Just put my name and the year instead of restarting the alphabet. So yeah, I'm probably halfway through this one. Again, really love it. This is, I'm stitching this on 40 count Old Town Blend by, I have no idea who it's by. I think it's R&R Reproductions. So, and then the colour I'm using is called Midnight, and it's a Gentle Art sampler thread. So it has a little bit of variegation in it, like sometimes you can see just little lighter pops of blue. I'm not sure if they're showing up. But yeah, really happy with this one. So that's all I've been working on for
really?
the month of
I thought
April.
you had like all that stuff.
No, that's my plans. So do you want to talk about what you've been doing, Millie?
Okay. So, yes, last time we had only done that bit,
Hold it up. That's it.
the bit and the ears were up and that bit. But this time we got this bit done sewing the head together. We didn't sew that bit yet so we could put the stuffing in it.
Yeah, so
And
this is your
she
unicorn.
knows how to flip it and I don't know how to flip it.
I can flip it. Well, probably not worth flipping it because you've still got to go around this one more time. So she's just doing a running stitch around there.
And then I have to go do the same thing backwards.
Yeah. Do you want to show what it's going to look like in the end?
This. But I've only started on that bit, like this part of it. Not the nose or anything, just the face.
And on this bit, she did pretty good, except sometimes she would go, instead of up, down, she would come over
And it gets stuck.
the
And then
edge.
I couldn't like get it out, so I had to come to her when she was doing something.
And yeah, so, but I think that's good to learn that technique before she progresses on to,
I think I've learnt it pretty well though.
yeah, working in a hoop and things like that with her cross stitch, because she does have some other cross stitch patterns to do.
Yes.
So yeah, a little bit more progress on your unicorn. That's very good. And then what else have you been working on?
So yesterday, we were working on something for school, and we built a marble maze.
Do you want to show it? So it's just here. So I'm just going to, she wants to give a little demonstration of her marble maze.
So it starts up here and it ends down in a cup down there somewhere. It's orange.
Okay, so that's her marble maze for her science project at school. So she's pretty proud of that.
And so
Come and sit back down.
the tricky bit.
Yep.
So when the ball went through the part where it goes through the Starbucks thing, then to the other one, dropping down the cup, that bit, I figured out a way to get it to drop down to there, but we were stuck on like getting the ball to go through this Starbucks thing. So I got out a notepad. I started drawing ways that we could use the materials that we had to make it go through. And I showed Mum, and because she was helping build, she was getting really stressed. So then I'm like, do you think any of these could work? And then I put a question mark on the second one because I thought it could work, but the other three wouldn't work. And then she's like, then she tested, she built it, and then she's like, you're a genius because it worked.
It was very good. It was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously a lot of you are doing Stitch Mania, which I wanted to participate in a very small way this year. And I'd ordered some patterns and I'd ordered some fabric, but unfortunately my fabric hasn't shown up. So, and all the patterns have not shown up either. So
That sucks.
it does suck.
Wait, so is Stitch Mania where you have to stitch for 24 hours?
No, Stitch Mania is where you start a new project every day. And you just stitch on that project for that day, and then the next day you start another one. So by the end of May,
You have like,
31 projects
but
that you've started.
yeah, but you haven't done that because they haven't come yet, and it's already the 3rd,
Yeah.
which sucks.
And I wouldn't do 31 projects anyway, because I don't like having 31 projects on the go. I'd
'Cause then
probably, what I had planned to do was just to start one every Sunday in May, start a new one. So I would have had 5 new starts. But that's not going to happen because I don't have all the things I need. But it's probably a good thing because I still have a lot of projects on the go that I need to get finished. So that my plan is I'm just going to keep trying to work through those. And if I do finish a project, then I can start something new that I do have the materials for. So because I finished my early days last night, I'm going to start this one today.
I don't know what it's called because I can't tell.
Animal Crackers Crumbs Jack
Station.
by Stacey Nash Primitives.
I can,
So it's just a little rabbit fob.
isn't it just like a bag?
It's a little, no, it's like a little rabbit head that I make into a soft thing like this.
So making it into a rabbit-shaped pillow.
Yeah. And I'm going to stitch that on the same fabric as this, which was 36 count Tyco. I've got that in there, and I've got all the threads in here as well. So that's ready to go. I don't think that's going to take very long to stitch. It's quite small, and I've had that for quite a while. So it's a good chance to start that project. And then this is another one that I thought I might start, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I'll start this one.
Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs.
I love this. Halloween, so
She loves Halloween.
I do love Halloween, and I have the fabric and I have all the threads for this one as well. So it's a good one to start because it's all ready to go. So that is a maybe.
And yes, I'm happy today.
What's that got to do with anything?
I don't know.
Why did you say I'm happy today?
What, am I not allowed
Are you
to say
unhappy every other day?
No. It's just because I never built anything like this out of cardboard.
Oh, you're very happy about that.
Yes.
So I am going to keep working on Yuletide Chanty and Madder's Choice because they're two of my current whips. So I need to finish one of those before I could start Away We Ride. But I've also got two others that I'll work on during May as well, which is this one. This is a tablecloth that must have been stitching on for years and years and years. It's a Christmas tablecloth, and that's one side that's fully completed, and then the pattern just repeats
On and on.
around all the other sides. Now I've done a fair bit. I've got to do the outline on this second side of the reindeer and the Santa and just finish off those presents. So that side won't take long to complete, and then this side I've started. So I really should get back onto this and get this finished because it's an easy stitch as well. So that's in my list of whips for May to work on. And again, this was one of my 9 projects that I had at the start of the year that I wanted to get a finish for in 2020. So
Hopefully.
yeah, it's a good chance to sort of...
Yeah, but you would have to work on it a lot of days because it's kind of big.
It is big, but it's easy, easy to get through. The other one that is in my list of whips and was one of my 9 is Frosty Forest.
Well, you haven't stitched on that in a long time.
I have not stitched on this in a long time.
When you were angry at it?
Yeah, because I had used, oh my goodness, I think I used DMC white, and then I picked up DMC 5200 and kept on going, and then I was outside, we'd gone away camping, I had taken this with
And
me.
I hated it because I didn't like camping.
And I went out, like was sitting outside, and I grabbed this out to do some stitching, and in the sunlight I could really tell the difference between the two colours of white that I wasn't able to see in the indoor light when I was stitching at home. So
you got really mad.
and then where I was camping, I didn't have the other white colour, and I really was not in the mood for unpicking everything I had done. So it got put away for quite a while.
I would say about 6 months.
Yeah.
Or 12 or 18.
No, not that long. Probably about 6 months. Anyway, I pulled it back out and unpicked all the white that was incorrect, restitched it, and then I restitched this one as well. And then I haven't done anything on it since then. So I really should aim to get maybe one more square done in May. This is stitched on 32 count Star Sapphire, so it's using 2 threads, which now that I'm used to using 1, it's hard to go back to these projects where I've used 2. Having said that, I did want to stitch it on 32 count deliberately because I did buy the little buttons that go with this piece. So each square has a little button that you sew on. And I thought that if I stitched it on a lower count fabric, the buttons would look too big. So I stuck to the recommended size of the fabric, the 32 count, and I'll sew all the buttons on at the end. So yeah, I should aim to get another block finished, or at very least started during May. So that's another May project that I have on the go. So I think that's 4 projects for May, because I've got Matta's Choice, Yuletide Shanty, the Tablecloth, and Frosty Forest. So they're the 4 that I want to get a lot of good progress on. And if I do, then I can start something new. If I finish any of those, or if I finish a square of this, I'll let myself start something new.
You try to finish something before you start a new one.
Yeah, and I am definitely going to start this because it's tiny and I finished my early days. Yeah. So that's my plans for May.
What's this?
These are some of the things that I purchased this month. So I'm getting, I think I mentioned at the start, so by finishing this and making my first pillow, I'm trying to get my confidence up in trying new things, and I guess that goes with stitching as well, trying to branch out and find some new designers to stitch. And also some of the patterns have different specialty stitches, so trying to learn some specialty stitches other than just doing cross stitch. So anyway, I've brought some new patterns. I'll start with these because you've probably already seen these. This is Stacey Nash. This is the Animal Crackers series again, and this one is Henrietta.
Wait, his name is Henry?
Henrietta. So it's a girl's name. And on the back, there's you can sew on this little heart and turn it into a place to store your scissors. You see that?
So it's a backpack.
Yeah. So I haven't got the threads, and I'll just stitch it on probably 36 count natural linen. And then I also got this one, which is Harrison.
He also does the same thing.
Yeah, so
but it's not hard.
Again, on the back, it's got a little spot for your scissors. I thought, Millie, you might like this, and maybe I could do a blue jumper instead of the green.
Yeah.
If you'd like. Again,
I see its paws.
I haven't got the fabric, the threads for this either. But Amelia likes blue, so I'm thinking I'd probably stitch a blue jumper for Harrison.
Harrison. No
plans to start anytime soon. So then I purchased this one also from Stacey Nash, which is just a little sampler. It's Hannah Jenkinson 1778. It's really bright and colourful. It just uses DMC threads as well.
I have to do some of this?
Yeah, Amelia helped find what DMCs I already had.
And put them in.
Yeah, and she kitted it up for me. So there's a few that we still need to get.
Yes. Because that doesn't look like...
I think we're just missing 4.
13.
Yeah, we're missing four colours on this one. And this is one of the ones where I'm waiting on the fabric to arrive before I start it. But I think that's going to be really cool, nice and bright. And then this is the last one that I got, which is Martha Davies 1830 by Chessie and Me.
Who's Chessie?
That's the designer. Again, it's quite another bright, brightly coloured sampler. It's got a beautiful big red house. nice colourful fruit bowls, I guess, or flower baskets. Some very colourful animals down here. And this also has some specialty stitches in it as well. Not too many for me to get used to, but I am quite keen to start this. And this is a designer that I've never stitched before either. So branching out a little bit with a different designer and some different stitch types. I'm actually working towards getting a bit of a sampler wall going. I have no idea where this sampler wall will be in our house.
What's a sampler wall?
Where you stitch things like patterns like this, like samplers, and then you put them all together on a wall. So, you know, my early days is complete. I've got Jane Marshall complete. I have a big, huge sampler that I finished a couple of years ago called the 3 Things Sampler. So, you know, I'll be able to sort of add these into that, and I think that'll look kind of cool. But yeah, waiting on this fabric to come. So it's ordered from the US. It's been at Miami International Airport for about 10 days.
10 days?
Yeah. I'm like checking the
mailbox.
No, I've got the parcel tracked so I can check where it's at. And it was moving through the US like quite quickly, and then it's just sat at the airport for about 10 days. So that's okay.
It made progress.
Yeah, it's made some progress. I just, you know, once it even gets to Australia, I know it'll still take a long time. Our shipping is quite delayed at the moment as well. So I ordered some threads. So again, as all of you are probably noticing, it's hard to track down certain threads at the moment, and I needed some for this one, and I found them online in a shop in Tasmania, and normally from there to here would only take a couple of days, and that's taken about 2 weeks, so they'll arrive next week.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Because then you'll be waiting 3 weeks.
Yeah, so I understand everything's slowed down, and all the shops are, you know, struggling because they can't have the number of workers there that they used to have, and then everyone's obviously doing a lot of online shopping.
And then everyone's like home working, so there's a lot of electricity bills.
Yeah, so there's I just have to be patient, and I have plenty here to keep me going anyway. But I can't wait to see this fabric when it arrives and test it out on some of these patterns that I've got. So yeah, that's our plans. That's what we've been doing. Hope you enjoyed viewing today. Please share our channel
with your friends.
And hope you're enjoying your stitching, and if you're doing Stitch Mania, I hope you're having a great time. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye.